tonight too.
All right, we're going to call to order Lookingglass Rural Fire District meeting for July 9th, 2025. We'll start with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'll get us started with a very quick prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all together and continuing our watching over the community and doing our part to what we can as both taxpayers, tax spenders. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Roll call, Paul Reardon here, Mark Bennett here, Bill Starnes,
Here.
Rob Icola,
Yep.
James Molden,
Here.
Steve Rhodes,
Here.
Justin Fox.
Here.
Everybody's here.
All right.
Additions to monthly agenda, if any. I think everything's pretty much on here other than, do we want to start with figuring out who's going to do what?
I think we'll swear in James and then,
Okay,
and that'll get and at least he can vote on things
okay.
and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So I got some reports here from the Douglas County clerk election. So we have to canvass the results. So James Moulton, Mark Bennett, and Robert Icola both got positions 1, 2, and 3, their terms. We have the official voting results here, and everybody was an overwhelming favorite except Rob had one write-in against him, so he only got 99.5% of the vote.
Somebody's pissed.
I don't know what you did, but one thing that in the past, I gotta find this because he just gave it to me. The SDAO had recommended oath of positions, not only for our firefighters, we have to do it for elected official and for the officer and the fire chief, engineer, and EMS people. So we have this whole, it's 4 pages of oaths for different positions and stuff. So there's an oath for elected official here. Normally it would be, I say, hey, James, repeat after me. I don't really want to do that because it's a whole paragraph. And it'd be really hard testing your memory. Maybe you could just like
Read it out loud.
Put your name in there and read that whole thing for the appointed official. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Do I have to stand up or can I just sit down?
I'll stand up with you, man.
I, James Moulton, being duly sworn upon oath, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon. As a member of the Lookingglass Rural Fire District Board member, I pledge to provide assistance and service to ensure the efficient operation of the fire district. I will uphold the standards of professionalism, integrity, and accountability. I'll respect the mission, policies, and objectives of the fire district supporting the Lookingglass Rural Fire District and its duties. I recognize my role as essential to the success of emergency response and community service. I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform the duties of Lookingglass Rural Fire District according to the best of my ability. I accept this responsibility freely and upon my honor.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have your life for 4 years, unless you move away.
Wait a minute, there's still, that's not.
There's other ways, yeah. So, let's see, what was the next one? I've already lost my agenda because there's.
Well, we're next would be approving the June 11th minutes.
I don't have any, so there's a problem.
Did you do that?
We may have to take those next month.
You should have June 11th.
We have June 11th minutes?
Yeah.
Right here.
I set you down.
Oh, no, not the chief's minutes, meeting. Last
Meeting
month.
minutes.
I should have sent them to you
Did you?
probably around 3 o'clock.
Okay, I didn't get them, so.
Sorry.
That's all right, we'll add them on, because we can do that next month too.
Next one.
Let's see, I think under new business, we did not have the board member positions. That's something we got to add to the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you probably want to do that
But I can-
Sooner than later?
I can add them in when we get to President's Report if you want.
Okay, yeah, that'd be
Do
great.
it at the
We can
end?
do it at the end, that's fine.
Okay. All right. All right, so then, next up would be financial report.
We wrote a total of 11 checks for a total of $12,367.32. Our checking balance is $2,095.55. We got $1.38 in interest. Our money market account at this moment is $158,826.39. I'd like to have a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pay the bills. Okay, communications report.
There's a large communications report. Justin warmed this all up. You want to review that, or you want to just? Well, there's a whole bunch on this, so overview, we're doing, we've been using multiple social media platforms now, and verbal and face-to-face stuff going on with not only our taxpayers, but the Grange and our website and our Facebook and all that kind of stuff too. The reaction from the community has really been picking up, and there's some numbers we can, on Facebook, we've had a lot of views. You can see 23,000 and some. A lot of people are actually taking the time to make some engagements and interactions, and that gets all broken down. Justin's been keeping up on the fire season update, the different public stuff we're doing, the Winston Parade, festival space, and the programs that we're doing for free. We always keep our call breakdown up on that. And on the next page is the official website. We had 5,336 views last month. We're about halfway to that already this month again. Again, we've been posting on the website all the very important stuff that we're doing, and a lot of fire prevention stuff on there, a lot of safety stuff, and then reporting what we're doing. Next door, we do some, basically it's a repeat of a lot of the fire restrictions and that kind of stuff. We did a awareness thing for our anniversary, which was 61 years this year, I believe, right, Justin?
Yes.
And recognizing some of the people, our EMT folks just graduated, mostly at the top of the class, did really well, and they're finally out of school, and they're back. And also we posted some pictures of Reach helicopters here. We had LZ training out here. Some replies back from the community. Justin and Misty joined a lot of the other, a few other fire departments here. Justin was involved in it from the start as far as planning for the Camp Ignition Point women's firefighting training, and that's on the newspapers here. It was the front page a week ago, I guess, or something. Really good day. I think they had 12, what do you call campers?
We had 20 signed up initially, 12 showed up on day one. We kept all 12 all 3 days.
And let's see, we every year Winston asks us to do both participate in the parade plus do fire standby at night for the fireworks over there. I understand we had a couple small spot fires our guys took care of in the field out there, and also we stay available for responses right early in that fireworks show. District or Central Douglas had a fire down along Happy Valley down past the river down there. So us being there in Winston helps them out a lot. Plus we had people staffed here that night too also. So.
And Roseburg had a nice rip in one.
Yeah, they had
in the middle of town, so a lot of their guys were on that.
Let's see. But we've initiated GroupMe accounts so that we are keeping in touch as a group much better. So any events that are happening, we can post them, and there's a spot where we can check whether you're in, whether you're out, if you can respond to that kind of stuff. For example, tomorrow morning we're going to do a standby because they're going to do some brush hogging up on Marston Road. It'll be legal because it's before 10 o'clock, but it's kind of dangerous. It's kind of dry right now, so we are gonna have a unit up there just while they're doing it. And so we were able to put that up on Group Me. Anybody that's available tomorrow morning can put on there. Yeah, I'll be at the station at 7 o'clock over to do that kind of stuff. So it's been working out really good. Justice put some future goals on here. We're just gonna keep on pushing stuff, especially through the summer here. The summer's been started off hot. I don't know how it's gonna go from here. Doesn't look. Most of the predictions are pretty bad by the end of August. We've got some materials here on the table. We can probably talk about those a little bit later about the scholarships that we have through the Safer Grant, and just looking for your guys' approval and support when we do all this kind of stuff. And also, the scholarship program, I want to talk a little bit about that later because we're trying to set up all the procedures and stuff for how we would choose 2 people to do it. We did a full 2-year like an AA degree at UCC or whatever college you choose in exchange for volunteering and helping us here. So anyway, that's the communications report.
Good. Do we have any public comments? The public is still silent. So Chief's report.
The Chief's report, hopefully won't be repeating too many things, but we had 30, oh shoot, I got the Chief's report, so that's not good. Is that the July Chief's report? No, that isn't it. Did I bring it? I brought the July one?
That's the one. That's the one that you handed me.
We'll come back to the Chief's report.
Okay.
You emailed it to us, I saw.
I did?
Yeah.
I emailed
You
you
did,
guys right away.
I can look it up.
It's on the website. Hey, Justin. It's on the website if you
Yep.
want to print some off.
You're
And
fine.
we can move
I
on.
can jump on it. If you want to give the report, I can jump on it right now, so.
Well, shoot, I should.
I can just download it off the
Here's the Chiefs minutes, I think. Yeah, here's July.
I gotta be able to read that.
Here, I can zoom in for you. There we go. You'll have to kind of work it
Well, I
back.
kind of missed one. I had 2 of them sitting on the table. I brought the wrong one.
Well, normally after the Chief's report, we talk about old business, but a lot of this highlights here is kind of what's going to be in your Chief's report,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we can talk about it. I'll skip the thing. Okay, so anyway, here we go. June 2025, we had 29 calls. So it's been pretty, it's really keeping busy, and we're on route this year to have the most calls we've ever had. I can guarantee that. 11 medical, 3 structure fire responses, 3 MVA, motor vehicle accidents, 3 natural cover fires. A lot of hazardous condition calls, smoke checks, illegal burns, illegal mowing, all that kind of stuff. We had 2 structure fires that were mutual aid, including one down there in Green. Our big natural cover fire was 32 acres here on Coos Bay Wagon Road on June 29th, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's under investigation, I'll say that. DFP is doing the investigation. It was a 20 mile an hour wind that day, 94 degrees or something like that. Kind of what everybody calls California weather. And it took off across that field. And
Oh, yeah.
we were able to keep it out of houses and barns and everything. We lost some hay bales. DFP, 10-mile Camas.
Thank you, Justin.
DFPS 10-mile Camas were the responding agencies. What happened that day was just before our fire, they had a structure fire down in Central Douglas's area in Green. And so all of our normal mutual aid paid folks that come, they're all gone. So it was all volunteers. It took a little bit longer for some of the people to get in from out further, but it went pretty good. I think we didn't lose anything major. No houses, we don't be losing our houses. We had a pretty good month of training, reach helicopters out here. We do a vehicle maintenance night once a month, and we spent a pretty good night talking about the Tuesday fire. That's kind of interesting. A lot of the new our volunteers, a couple of them on that fire were brand new, including Pastor Rick Sherman and his son. Just Maxon's just turning 18 to become a volunteer. We've been doing all this training with wet hose lights and everything else, but no live fire training. So they were on we were mobile pumping on a fire on a flame, taking a lot of heat and smoke and everything, and I think everybody learned a lot, and it was a really good experience for them. We had another vehicle stabilization night. We got all these cars out here still. We ended up that ignition point got one of our cars, didn't it? A couple of them. Yeah, we were able to donate those out to them. They did a road rescue night again also. We have 2 people that are going to be certified, and there's a new state critical incident stress management course, and what they're trying to do is establish a good solid team here in Douglas County, so that on incidents that might stimulate PTSD or something, that will have almost an immediate response and debriefing after the incident, and then more of a schedule, more formal one in the near future, like a week or 2 out or something like that. So they've been trying to do that for years, and we've had groups off and on, but they're trying to go for it again. Justin's still running Thursday night in. We're duplicating the training on Sunday for people that can't make Thursday nights, and some of them can't. And then if we have a special need for a special subject or something, they're doing that on Sundays. Firefighters are keeping on going. We're still doing the online training for our OSHA training and stuff. The EMT folks are done. We had 3 of them successfully graduate. We've got some others that are interested again. They're doing one of the things now is you have to do a national certification test. It's a tough test. They're registering. I don't know if any of them have taken it yet. They're scheduling it. Some of them are kind of leery to give us the dates because it's a really tough test, and you can not pass it. So, but you get a chance to take it again. But again, it's just some of the people aren't necessarily telling us when their date is. We've been working on recertifying members. We got a couple guys in that were here before a long time ago as cadets, and then also they work for DFP or stuff in the past. And so when their certifications lapse, when they retire or they quit for a while, it's kind of hard to get it back. It's a big paperwork shuffle, and we're working on doing that. And trying to get them up to levels. We're requiring wildland firefighter certifications to be on our, to work here for this OSFM grant that we have and that kind of stuff. So we're trying to get people up and certified. One of the last things we did is the last day of school every year, they go over and help with the activities when they have their fun day over there. So Justin and some folks are over there. Cadets are up and running here. One of our volunteers, I was talking about him, just turned 18. So we're one cadet down, and he's going to be going into the Central Douglas student program this fall and start basically working his way to a career as a paid firefighter. Hopefully he's going to keep volunteering here because he lives here in our area, so we're going to keep pushing that. Equipment. Just found out that the air valve that's been down on 1030 for shoes been 6 months now maybe or something. It finally came in from Cummins, and we have a schedule next week to do that next Thursday up at Mobile Diesel in Sutherland, and they're going to service it at the same time. The part is something that's not manufactured anymore. In fact, they evidently mill these parts individually every time they do them now. So it's almost $3,000 by the time it's done. And this thing is about, I don't know, it's a little box about this size. It's an electrical and air actuated thing that runs a turbocharger on these Cummins engines for that year, whatever it was, 2006. Don't go out very often, but they do go out. Some of the reason we can get them is because the logging trucks that have those engines around here, they still will actually mill them, and make them form special. Sale of old 1060. We have this on here. Yes, I'll talk more about that when we talk about new business. The final reimbursement for the state just showed up 2 days ago for the seismic reimbursement for the last $15,000. And so I got to write a check for Vitus. The last things they're going to be doing is painting our doors out front. And then the storage container, that will be new business also. We're still hoping the red fire trailer is supposed to be moving. Nobody's come down and picked it up yet, but it's still out there now. The CWDG grant, we did a lot of work on that for a 5-year program for fuel reduction here. Haven't heard anything about it. It looks like most of those preparedness type grants were just dropped through FEMA, and we just haven't heard anything. I don't think you're going to hear anything from it. We have about $25,000 out again to Sabre for payroll and all that stuff, so I'm submitting for that. The workman's comp audit, sent that in. It should be no additional expense every year at the end. I don't know, you guys have businesses, they make you do the audit, and then if you've had more employees or less employees, they'll refund you money. And then we've already paid the bill for this year. The audit process with Hanford Associates is still going on. She was on medical leave for a while, and she's just got back, so we're still working on that. Giving her all the statements and everything she needs. STA training, new board member training is coming up in August. There's nothing going to be local, there's going to be one in Eugene, so if anybody is interested in doing that, we can get somebody up to it. Or they have all that stuff on video, but a full day of watching videos is it's kind of cool to go to those classes. They have some pretty good speakers and all that stuff, so if you guys are interested, we can set that up. Anybody? A lot of activity on the website. May election, we already talked about. We do get billed for the election. We had budgeted, because 2 years ago it was $541. I'm not sure why this year was $300 and some dollars, so we're actually $200 to the good in a way. To the resolution and the LB 50, the final stuff for the tax assessor, what has been filed, I filed it this morning actually down at the courthouse. And let's see, a lot of public activity, range of activities going on. The wildlife staffing grant, we fired up July 1st, the cruise started. We don't have a real, we aren't getting 2 people a day. We don't have the cadre of trained people this year, but if we're getting 1 in a day, then we have Justin here also, so we have a 2-person crew to immediately respond, and then the rest can come in as volunteers. We had to update some of the W-4s and I-9, the federal ones, payroll, got a few of those going on. Wheeler's ready to go. Our pay days are usually the 20th of the month and the 5th of the month. And the pay periods are 2 weeks long. And Bob Scott's working on the schedule, so he's got that going. That's about all I got for that.
We can go back to cadets for a minute.
Yeah.
So we lost one to 18 last month. We got another one that we'll lose tomorrow, turning 18. And then out of the Camp Ignition Point, we have one camper that is coming to be one of our cadets.
One of the females.
We'll go back, we'll go to 2.
And then we're picking up kind of a part-time guy, a trained firefighter from 10 Mile. I think he kind of wants to be more on us than, he wants to be more with us than he wants to be with them, but whatever. They've been doing a lot of training over there with him, and he has a little bit of, he owes them a little bit too. So it's up and down as usual, man. How it was.
Okay. So then, that's it for the chief's report. Is there anything else you want to add? Okay. So then on the old business, you were going to talk about purchase of storage container. You already hit the construction reimbursement and the safer programs.
So we talked about the storage container for a while. Haley has we rented that during the whole seismic process. They gave us half the rental to apply to purchasing this thing at the end. They originally gave a list price of $8,000 or $9,000. It's a 40-foot brand new one, and they're asking $3,000 for it now. And we've had it sitting here. we need a storage container. We have storage. What happened before is we just had junk stored upstairs. We have a need for long-term deep storage for all of our past records. We have records all the way back to when this place was established. And being able to get certain other equipment back out there out of the rain and stuff, that thing's airtight, watertight, not totally airtight, you wouldn't dying if you suffocate. But I mean, it's weatherproof. So I'm asking for your guys' approval to do that. They're sending me an official invoice, and that's it.
We want to vote on it?
Yeah.
I make a
that's
motion
it.
to buy it.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
3,000, okay, cool. Well, that's good.
Did I get
Thank you.
did I get 5 ayes?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The safer program of reimbursements, I think we kind of talked about that. It's going along pretty good. We're gonna probably reallocate some of the funds in it that we're not having. We're doing a lot of the training and stuff here and stuff that I had budgeted for in that grant. And we could reallocate stuff to get, for example, physical fitness equipment or other stuff. And we still have these 2 scholarships. Maybe that's appropriate to talk about them now. I have 2 two-year scholarships that are, did you give them to those also?
Yeah.
Okay. They're tuition's $16,000 basically for 2 years. Tuition and fees and books and all that kind of stuff. And the requirements would be an active volunteer with the Lookingglass Fire District and commit to good academic volunteer performance. 10 Mile has done this in some of them by signing a contract. I don't know how you get a student, I guess you can, you get them to sign a contract, but I mean like if they move away or something, I don't know how you enforce that contract or make them repay you for what they.
Well, it would be,
did.
yeah, they would have some financial responsibility
Right.
if they didn't fulfill it.
Well,
Yeah.
you usually don't you just cover it term by term or
Yeah.
semester by
I
semester?
think,
so
I think that's what's gonna happen, yeah. We were kind of creating this from our own thing, and this is the procedures that our Justin and our officers have come up with. And there's a questionnaire, and it's kind of the whole program and scoring sheet and how it works. And we're asking tonight, Justin, is that right, that they would kind of approve this for us?
Yes.
Yeah. You guys aren't gonna really have to do any work for it, and the reason, we're going into our 2nd year on the SAFER grant, and if this is gonna be, these expenditures all have to be done by the end of the SAFER grant, which is November 27th. So we gotta get going on these. If they're gonna have a 2-year scholarship, we gotta be on it.
The only work that you guys may have to do is sit in on the interviews and grading.
Bring somebody in for that.
do you have any guys lined up that want to do it?
Well, we have one that might be wanting to do half of it, because he's already got a student program funded through CDFNR also. Do you have any other prospects?
So yes and no. It's been kind of hard without having this really set
Yeah.
to have somebody say, yeah, I want to do it.
Need the money.
Yeah.
So we need a motion on that, don't we?
Yeah, but I kind of like what James said, is it should be defined out that if we're gonna agree to spend this money for 2 years, and somebody does quit, move away, that the money is cut off in that semester, that, wherever they're at, but,
Because I think we
Yeah.
could just have UCC send us the bill each term.
right, but
Yeah, and
almost,
then we could, and then if somebody else wanted to partially attend, or wanted to attend for a year.
like, we can make the
Somebody
money
else, yeah,
available
right.
per semester,
Right,
as long as there's a cadet that's doing the program.
right.
And if somebody leaves and we want to put somebody else in to finish that, then we leave that available.
Yeah.
And they could just tell us what they want or what they need book-wise, and maybe just buy the books for them, and then that just even
Yeah,
removes.
well, it's got to follow the budget.
Yeah, we have that money, we have that 16,000 per student available, and it's reimbursed from FEMA, so it's just us managing it. We just have to have the invoices and receipts so I can get it reimbursed.
Do you think you want to try to do a contract for it of some form?
We actually have a proposed one. I'm not sure where that is right now. We kind of copied 10 miles, but I would say in our program, we're gonna be doing that.
Okay.
I think I wanted to let you guys just know what that's going on. We're gonna try to select some and get it going. It may even be an existing, if we've got somebody in our department that wants to go to school, it could be an adult for all I care. As long as if they're a volunteer here and they wanna go get a 2-year auto tech degree, whatever it is, as long as they're volunteering here and they need help, yeah.
Should I have a comment? She raised her hand.
Oh, I was just gonna say is that they have to meet the criteria of volunteering, and that might be contracting, might need to write
Right.
that they have to volunteer.
Like a certain number of hours or
We
missions.
got,
And 2 years,
that was part of the deal here on the.
two
our
years would
requirements.
also cover a paramedic degree too, if somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have, the requirements for being eligible for it, being an active volunteer here, and then be in good standing with us, and then also be in good standing with the schools.
So we could make a motion and vote on it, that it follows those guidelines and leave it open.
Oh, I hear you. There is, so that,
Modify later, right?
before any money is, or payments are made, there's a tuition contract outlining scholarship terms and conditions. And so we'll have a contract that they will sign.
So that is a couple of the contracts that I've been playing with the wording, with the EMT, because we're also paying, we have funding available to send people to EMT class, which is, I mean, it's 6 months, they're gone, basically all of our drills for 6 months. And it's basically saying, hey, we're paying for this, we want some time back from you. I don't necessarily tend to like chase people through court and all that kind of stuff, but just get them to kind of think about, hey, they're putting some money into this for me.
But I also know that the state of Oregon is particular, that you can't, there are some performance contracts that are non-enforceable.
Right.
And so you definitely has to be screened through one of the lawyers, for sure.
So we could do that through ours, and that was my concern about it, is that, you know, a kid, especially if we got somebody coming up 18, 19, 18 years old, they go, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to school and I wanna be this. Shoot, at 18, 19 years old next year,
Yeah,
they may be saying, hey, I'm going in the Army or something.
right.
For
And what's her
example, we
name?
got volunteers that's going in the Air Force this September, one of the guys we got, so. And so what are you gonna do with that, you know? Are you gonna take them to court over
No.
what they used or whatever? you know?
No.
It's the motion with contract, is that correct?
Yeah, I would say motion with contract, that we would approve.
Who's motioning?
Roughly $16,000 for two scholarships, for each, for two scholarships, so a total of about $30,000. Looks like, looks like 30.
Second?
Good motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and then just remember that, and that's gonna be fully funded by Safer, so, I mean, it's just it's a paperwork shuffle.
Right.
But we get to catch on.
Right.
Gotcha, we're kinda in there. Okay, that's great, thank you. Old business, what else? Audit progress, like we already talked about that, staffing and grants going right now. The budget is done officially, the last stuff's been done. New business. Okay, so we were talking last month about investment for our reserve fund.
Yep.
So I've been doing some research on it.
Is that Bitcoin?
Huh?
Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. So first of all, I've been doing some research on it, and first of all, we are limited with what you can't do with public funds in the first place. And in fact, Oregon has I've got all this crap here that I printed off today. Oregon has a list of approved financial institutions. Umpqua Bank that we have is one of the approved institutions. Here it is. There's qualified depositories in Oregon. So if you can deposit up to the FDIC insured limit.
$250,000.
Right. So we're not gonna really have that problem because we're staying low. So I know some public agencies run like multiple CDs and stuff to try to keep funds available and all that stuff. And I know we're doing that with the local water board right now, and we're getting 4% or something like that back right now. Most of the local fire departments and cities are using Oregon Treasury short-term fund, and basically it earns a rate of return, and I printed them all off. Right now it's earning 4.6%. What you can do is transfer money, it's a limit of $1.5 million. but there's over 1,000 fire departments and small districts like us that are involved in it. There's no minimum, and there's no penalties for going in and out. And they have a $1.5 billion or something in this pool that they're doing. So for us to do this, there's these one-page applications to do it. We have to have minutes that we've approved, and they have to be approved next month. So this is a month or two process to do this. And we can put as much money into that as we want. I can give you some examples. 10 Mile has about $175,000 of their reserves in it right now. And they're at 4.6% right now. They're getting between $500 and $700 a month. It's credited at the end of every month, and you can either let it ride or they'll transfer it to your normal checking account or something. So that, if you're, over the year, you're talking $5,000, $8,000, rather, and we're getting dollars.
Yeah, $500.
They have us doing .01 or something. So I talked with them today that as far as fees and stuff, to transfer money back and forth, the normal fees, ACH, they charge you 5 cents per transaction. If you're doing an EFT, electronic funds transfer, and there's a specific time limit on those or something, they'll charge you $10. So,
Cheap.
so some departments, like 10 Mile is leaving it in there. They're just like letting that amount ride. And that's kind of what I would think we would do, is maybe put 125 or 130,000 bars in there and keep 30 or something liquid. And that, I think that would be appropriate. Many departments, City of Roseburg is one of them, they run it like a checking account. So every single day, they're saying, okay, today we gotta pay utilities, they hit an ACH out of here, and pay the electric company. So they're using this as their checking account. I'm not so sure it's really great because you have all your funds in there and maybe you're getting the maximum interest, but then you have more stuff you're keeping track with and stuff. I'm not sure if that's the way you want to go, but that, after looking at, first of all, the state requirements on where we got to put our money and what we can do with it and all that kind of stuff. And this is pretty much what everybody's doing, and the interest rate is very competitive. I mean, it's right up with the money markets and CDs and all these things that have long-term commitments. So I'm kind of proposing that that's what we do. And a lot of everybody else around here, it's set up for local small districts just like us. And that we haven't been doing this for the last 20 years, shame on us, I think, but whatever.
You can imagine the compounding rate of 20 years.
So we need a motion
Maybe to pursue it. I have, you can go on, it's called the Oregon Short-Term Fund. It's a program through the Oregon State Treasurer. There is so much material in there that'll just, you can go for days and days. The applications are there, they're one page.
How much are we going to transfer?
Well, I'd like to talk with our treasurer when we get to it. I know Bill's been worried about, and I have been too, that we keep liquid in case we really need something like tomorrow.
Right.
This thing is, normally the transfers back into our fund would be 1 day, but if you're talking, say July 4th and it's a weekend or something, the longest they usually say is 3 days to transfer money back in. So,
But to pull money out.
right, to
Long
pull
as
money
we-
back into, so I would propose, first of all, dumping, another reason I brought this up is Umpqua Bank just sent us a notice. We're paying $15 a month service fees for both of our accounts right now, which is, it's because they're business or public business accounts. And so my proposal would be then to dump the one that we had, the seismic, we had that separate, just to keep those funds separate. Dump that one, and then our other one, keep it at a smaller amount. And I'd like to try to figure out somehow and talk with them about it. That's ridiculous, $15 a month for what we do. We don't do that much. But and then there's a lot more stuff as far as transfers and stuff. It's just that just came this week that they're raising our
So Steve, there's 158,000 in our M&A account. So what do you want to think, maybe 100,000?
Move money in and out.
Is that
anytime we want.
Either way.
But even $100,000 is $400.
I know.
You know, $460 a month.
So move.
I think you could do, as long as you left 20,000 over, so that put 135,
Yeah.
give or take a few.
Well, what I'm afraid of is if something goes wrong with a fire truck or something like that, you're not gonna get it repaired for 20 grand.
My only issue with that right now is the safer grant. At any given time, we got money out, and we have money out right now, and it seems like every 3 months we're out about $20,000 or 25,000 pending coming back, and we don't have it right now. So right now, truly, we have 158 in there.
Right.
If you add 25 into that, we really got 183 or 190. But
How much do you want to
it's in limbo somewhere.
So what do you recommend?
You don't count receivables, so
Yeah,
in the bank.
yeah, until we got it.
Like right now, we're sitting
So what do you
at
recommend?
$2,100 in their checking account.
Right.
So how much do you
we're
want-
about
how much do you want-
116 total.
How much do you want transferred from the money market? You want another 20 grand transferred over, or do you want to set it and hope nothing
Well, we
happens?
probably
Yeah,
we're gonna
20.
need 10 grand right now for these bills. So that'd be officially be 148. We have 25 out, so we're talking about 170 plus change in our account after we pay the bills this month. So I don't know, 100 might be a very safe way to go, or 120.
Well, it's easy to put money in,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah,
I would
we can
say,
transfer.
personally, my own thing is, the highest I think I can go right now, Sony, would be like 120 grand.
Yeah.
Let's go 120 then.
Okay.
120.
So motion for 120?
And a motion that, which program do you want to use?
It'll be the Oregon short-term fund.
The Oregon short-term.
They have a long-term fund that's more committed, like a CDs and all that kind of stuff. We can't get into
Keep it
it.
more
We can
fluid.
always pull it
So-
out.
so
It
the
has a
motion-
little bit higher rate of interest.
Yeah.
So the motion is to put 120,000 into the Oregon short-term fund.
And then, can we maybe revisit seeing if it would make sense for us to do it like a checking account? If we're getting charged $30 a month for processing through Umpqua.
No, it'd be 50, or your charge
So
was
we're gonna,
15 now.
We're gonna
Per
tell
account,
Caroline.
right? Oh, okay. So
The other one's gonna
And
close
then-
out.
So that would be part of this also, is that, me and the treasurer, we'll find out who that, you're still gonna be treasurer? We'll find
Yeah,
out
I'm
tonight.
planning on it.
It's not.
Anyway, whoever it is.
I don't see any reason to
Then we go
change.
down and take
If
care
it
of
ain't broke,
and so this is gonna be a month process, because what happens now is the minutes from this meeting will have to be approved at the next meeting, and then we can proceed. Because basically, they need these one-page applications, there's 2 of them, and then a copy of the minutes has been approved, and what was the last thing? We're gonna have, you get a count, you get
So
passwords.
so 120 for the short term,
Right.
and then who's making the motion, who's seconding it?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Okay, so
okay?
who's
And
making
you're
the
making the
motion?
motion,
Okay,
you're
James?
seconding it?
Yep.
All in favor? Aye. The motion
So
passes.
just saying that, if we had that per year, we would have covered,
Okay,
our deficit this year, as a matter of fact, in interest.
Okay.
right?
good.
So there you go.
Need to do it.
Okay, so that's another big one. It's 4.6 right now. Here's
Is it
the,
variable, or is it?
That's
so
Through
they do it monthly, so
Yeah.
in the depths of the 2022, when everything it was down to 3.1, it's been up as high as 5.3 last July, and then it's at 4.6 right now.
Who's
So
the-
they
who's that
do it
for?
monthly. Huh?
Who's that through?
It's called PFM, it's a state treasurer, but PFM is a private company, they have management. I talked with them today, as a matter of fact, and they're real helpful, and whatever they
So
did
what
is
would we
across
do,
the
just
country.
have it transferred from our money market over to them? Or do we have to go do a checking account, write a check, or?
It can be an EFT. or
I think you can do
ACH,
it, you can do
the
a
way-
transfer.
Yeah, the way they do it would be just a
Okay.
money transfer.
I think you have to do it that way, otherwise.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen until next month anyway, but we can set
Right.
up, get all the stuff set up.
Get the
And,
minutes.
and just as an opportunity cost example, getting rid of our Umpqua account and then purely going with this as a checking account, would be as if we were padding the other account with about $5,000 per year, because that's what that $15 a month is if you figure the 4% interest of what that would be. So it would effectively be adding $5,000 to the account by just slashing the unemployment account.
Well,
The only one thing I have, as far as still maintaining one of our accounts is that FEMA, the state, and our BFA, all these different grants, auto deposit into our current checking account. And I'd rather, it's kind of hard to switch all around, especially with Safer and FEMA. We have a account with Safer that's been established for probably 10 years.
Do we have to have a business
15
account?
bucks is not a
Do
big
we have to have a
deal.
business account?
You know what, we need to talk about that, 'cause especially this last one we got for that seismic, there was a lot more conditions on it, and it was a lot more expensive account. The last Aqua one we did. Yeah.
but we're not gonna have that one.
Yeah, and that's one that I would, get that out there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be right now, it's got the last final money from the earthquake seismic retrofit in there. As soon as I write the check for that to them, they'll only be about $150, $200 in that, so we'll be able to close it.
Just
Before
have
we
a
cut
transfer
this
on
over
it.
$15
So tomorrow I'll put 10,000 into our checking account then.
Okay. And then during the month, I'll work with you, and we'll work with the PFM and the state here to get all this stuff.
Okay.
And then as soon as we get minutes next meeting, we can just move on. Okay, there we go,
So, wildland season outlook,
It's,
did you cover that one? I can't remember.
by August, they're showing extreme all the way through the.
Well,
So
no, we have to,
30 already.
then we
right
have
now.
to go into selling the 1060,
Yeah, okay, I need to talk about that.
and the 1030 repair.
The old 1060, the 1030 repair is gonna get done, next week, and so that's gonna be, around $3,000, which, 1060. So, the old tender's been sitting out there, and our intention was to sell it. We had I had DFPA's guy, Randy Lemming, who's their fleet management guy, plus their mechanic, came out and looked at it. And we've been talking, because we had a few people offer us, $5,000-$10,000 for it. So I wanted to get a idea of what it's worth. So there's a couple things we've done. They came out and said that they would say like 10,000 or best offer, and settle for 7,500 or so, whatever. And then we went out, Bo Cummins, one of our firefighters, he has his own lot of business and stuff, buys trucks on auctions, all that kind of stuff. So we spent a couple days going through stuff for sale, either auctions, Facebook, marketplace, and all those kind of things. And we're finding a range of 4,500 to 15,000 or so, depending on the condition of those trucks. This is that truck's is 1979, 379,000 miles on it. And there's some issues with it. It's a Detroit diesel two-stroke, which is known to be poor fuel mileage, and that they're notorious for that. But the cab style and everything, people like that cab style, that Freightliner. It's not a bad looking rig. It needs, going through it, it needs a full service. There's air leaks, air hoses inside the cab and under the dash and on the compressor that are leaking, that are gonna need replacement. The airbag suspension, airlines on it are leaking and probably need replacement. There's some electrical shorts in the turn signals, the marker lights, and there's been a lot of splices and wiring over the years, because that tank was, this tractor, the tractor part of that thing was bought from a used salvage or a auction yard, and then that tender part of it was put on that thing, and the pump was put on it. That's the third chassis that tank has been on since our departments owned it back in the 60s or 70s. There's 8 tires on it that need replacement, by the way, ranging up to 30 years. So that's about $5,000 right there. And a main seal on the engine and the rear end are both leaking. And there's a latch missing on the hood. That's another. The other thing about it is we have a person who has a cash offer for $7,500 for it. He runs a business that supports the FPA and the Forest Service as contractors for wildland during the year. He has 2 tenders right now, and he wants to get a 3rd.
Let him fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So he's made us a cash offer of $7,500, which is
We have to.
reasonable. Yeah.
Well, then that's good.
So, and a couple other things is for him to get it back up, like it has no spray bars or anything, this thing was just for selling out, filling tanks. So he estimates he's gonna have to put about 10 to 15,000 into it, and so that's why he said he was gonna lowball more like 5,000, but he goes, I really like that thing, and it's worth 7,500 to me. He likes that type of cab and chassis and everything, so. Anyway, and he estimates it's gonna take him about a year to get it up to being certified to be ready for the Forest Service.
Well, I'd move to sell to him for $7,500.
And that's whatever you guys think.
I like
75 was, the other offer we've had is DFPA asked us to donate it because they want to put it on low boy and take it to the Eastern Oregon, give it to somebody that doesn't have tenders. And I told them that just because of our financial condition, I'd love to do that. There's no tax benefit for us to do that. I mean, we're already 501c3. And but I thanked them, and they came out and looked at it and wanted to see if they could use it and buy it.
So you have an offer, Mark?
Yeah.
Motion?
Let's do it. I'm making the motion.
All right, I'll second it.
Paul?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sold.
We have the valid pink slip and everything for it, so.
Tell me what all, Benjamin.
It's all, I'll make sure that it's in the bank before we sign that, and it's under Lookingglass. It's kind of interesting, the owner is Lookingglass Rural Fire District, there's no name on it or anything, so hopefully our chief, me or else you, one of us can sign it.
It'll work.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're working along here. New fiscal year
Yeah, so
started.
new fiscal year.
It started, it's going, seasonality we already talked about.
Yep.
What else, Justin, you got anything else?
I've been talking with some of our neighboring departments about doing the regional firefighter academy, like weekends type stuff. We had some fairly good success with it at 10 Mile. And we're talking about like Camas, 10 Mile, Lookingglass, Central Douglas wants to throw some volunteers in there as well. But that way it's not so much strain on just one department, it's instructors from all the departments coming together doing it. We're doing movie night at the Grange next Thursday.
That's part of the, James, by the way, is president of the Grange now. I'm the
What
treasurer, so we're actually gonna be doing more of a kid family thing. I think it's gonna be a Bug's Life, and our secretary's wife over there provided the movie for us.
Yeah.
So there'll be ice cream and popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah.
If anybody wants to come, it
That's great.
starts 6:30 to 8:30, I believe we're gonna run it
What
That's
day,
awesome.
what day are you doing
Thursday.
Thursday.
it? This or no, tomorrow?
Oh, wait.
No,
Yes.
17th.
That's,
I'm actually going to Alaska on the
okay.
17th.
Oh, too bad. Well, we'll cancel it.
My buddy actually bought a boat up in Alberta, and he has to get it out of the slip, so we're going up to Alaska.
Yeah, we're planning during the summer to do movie nights, garage sales, all kinds of stuff in the Grange, and we're pretty intertwined, as you guys can already tell.
Right.
Our families are and everything else. So we're, with a limited amount of volunteers here in the district, between us, the Grange, and the school, Justin's, what's really been good about him being here and our social media stuff is we've got ourselves into where everybody's together, and we have a little bit of help from the school, they get help from us, the Grange helps and everything. So it's been it's let us do a few more things that we wanted to do.
Looking at scheduling a task performance evaluation for 5 firefighter trainees to hopefully pass successfully, which I don't see any issues with any of them passing. But then they should, after passing, they'll I'll push for their Fire One certification, so we'll have 5 brand new Fire One certified personnel here, which is awesome because we've had 2 for a minute.
That, it's really important that they get these state certifications, not only for us with our grant on our wildland, but for the structural, because with our mutual aid agreement, the negotiated agreement we have with Central Douglas and Winston is that we provide like resources to them. So what's happened recently is we have people that aren't fully certified. When those guys come into our area, they're certified firefighters, can go inside and fight fire and all that stuff. When we're going to calls, on some calls, we're having to go up to the guy and say, hey, I have 3 people here, but only one of us is certified to put on the air pack and go inside. I have 2 exterior firefighters, or we can pair people up together, but it's kind of it's just an extra step when we're going on these calls with people. Central Douglas has been really good about it. They're very understanding of what's going on in volunteer fire service and stuff, and we're coming around to where we're going to be back up where we have a good staff officially trained crew and with state certified. So that's been a long road. That was part of why we have the SAFER grant for it, is to do that, is take care of that kind of stuff. So.
Good. That's it? Okay, so then we're gonna move on to nominating positions and delegating who's gonna do what for the fiscal year.
You guys want to know, so this is the official small paragraphs out of our bylaws, and by the way, you guys have the ability, as time goes by, to change these bylaws to resolution and stuff. And then, this is the long version of them. I think I might just give you these just so this is what the first board that created all this stuff came up with. I think you guys do by position. So I'm going to say that for a few years that has not been done that way. But you know, and just as the short version is the president's basically, he'd be signing contracts and stuff. Like for example, Paul, during the seismic retrofit, he was not a check signer because he had to sign the official, way back when we signed that contract, that he was kind of representative on the lead of our department and was kind of an overseer of that whole program, whether he knew it or not. And we did, thank God, doesn't happen financially on the whole thing. So, and he helps set the agendas or approve it, and can have input from everybody if you want to.
Did it for a while.
Yeah. The vice president takes over for the president, like Mark has a couple times when he's been gone. And also, originally in our bylaws, they were kind of responsible for equipment, or to work with us about when we're talking about purchases and equipment, all that kind of stuff. We needed that kind of stuff, accurate inventory. Basically, at that time, what they would do is every few months they come and go, hey, let me see your inventory. Have you guys inventoried your stuff lately? Do you even know what you have here? Oh yeah,
We have one less truck.
Yep. Yeah, well, we got one more too, so it's okay.
Okay.
The secretary is responsible for the minutes of each meeting, assist the vice president keeping some forms. We actually had a secretary once that used to come in and do the files and everything once a week, but we've kind of taken over that kind of stuff. If we need office supplies or whatever we need related to the office here and that kind of operation, then they can help. The treasurer is responsible for keeping the accounts and bills payable and current. That's a pretty simple one. Kind of. It's going to get more difficult now for a little while. Right? And then communications officer was something that they had started when this board created this, and that was when we were starting to reach out for on websites and all that kind of stuff. I think if somebody wants to do that, we need a communications officer and maybe a IT-ish kind of person too, to kind of help us out on where those kind of things, you know. anybody that knows anything about.
Get the printer reconnected to the internet.
But anyway, the
Takes me like 2
communications
hours.
officer, most of that stuff's being we've been maintaining that, and social media we're into. But we can certainly use help or advice from them. If you go to some of the SDAO training, what you're gonna find out is you can be as involved in this as you want, or you guys are the administrators and the approvers of everything, and you can be really involved in the actual work of it, or we've had I've been here almost 20 years now, we've had boards that did everything, we had boards that did nothing, and then we've had in between, so, I mean, it's all what you guys want to do from the training.
Okay,
So,
so I
you
think,
gotta fight it out. Or
Yeah,
what to
so-
do what.
I can do IT stuff.
Really?
do you want to be communications?
I'm not great at media posts, but Justin, you're kind of already handling that, but IT and all that stuff.
I'm looking for the volunteer that is all good with that.
You're golden. And you're wearing gold.
And,
That's
and then, so we have a pretty good inventory on all the stuff that we do have, and maybe we do have a couple old laptops that are beyond working now, so stuff like that, you know?
I can fix them. I
And
mean,
devices, yeah.
yeah, we can, I don't know, what Linux on or something.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay, so there's a communications officer, looks like.
Okay, so,
that's like
we'll- I don't think anybody's gonna fight for it. So we'll make a nomination, right?
Okay,
So I'll nominate James for communications. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, James is communications. You want to be president?
Not only the vice president, it's the smallest paragraph here and there.
Okay, I'll nominate Mark for vice president.
I'll second that.
yeah.
Can I do that?
Maybe James should.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. And we know who's going to be our treasurer, so I'll make a nomination for treasurer.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. You want to be president?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I'll
Really?
second that. Yeah, versus secretary, I'll give up secretary any day.
Yeah, swap it up. It'll be fun.
Okay.
All right, so
Who's
we'll-
president?
we will nominate you to be our Rob is our president.
Okay.
So I
So
think-
That is you as
All in
secretary?
favor?
Okay.
That makes me a secretary.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So, yeah, why don't you guys vote for that, and then I'll tell you what happens next for that.
Okay, so he has to nominate me for that.
I'll nominate you.
I'll second it.
Oh, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So what happens now is the county clerk, they keep track of what positions you guys have, because you're all elected and appointed positions. SDAO keeps track of all that stuff. I want to say that in the last 4 years, we haven't been real heavy on, the Lookingglass Fire.org website has official emails for you guys. So like I have one, and it's linked to my personal email, and I kind of, I protected you guys a little bit from that, because we get stuff from SDAO and stuff is probably important for you guys, but we get so much junk mail from anything that has to do with the fire department. I mean, we got stuff all the time, so like what I've done is.
33,000 SDAO emails since I started here, like, what, 3 years ago?
There you go.
30-something
So,
thousand.
I don't know, our Lookingglass Fire.org site, there is some ways to filter and stuff, but like right now I have my personal email linked to that thing, and then I get 75 a day, you know, at least, and that's not counting junk mails, that's counting just department mails.
It's too
So
much.
I don't know what you guys, we have accounts set up for every single one of you guys. It's on our Lookingglass Fire.org account. There's one for vice president, president, secretary, treasurer, and communications officer. They're already set up. They have pre-established passwords, which could be changed by anybody. If anybody wants to use that or be more involved in that, I'll give you guys all the information for it, and you can do what you want with it. I how to set the filters. Our website host is Douglas Fastnet, and they always have been. I find them really supportive on this part of it over the years, as far as trying to limit the stuff we're getting and the aid and help that we get. But keeping Lookingglassfire.org is kind of important to us, because there's other Looking Glass fires across the country, and we try to keep that handle, whatever they call it, what do they call it?
Yeah.
Web edit.
The way of saying, because if we lose that, we won't have it, so. And
Domain.
as you guys, if you want to reach out, or I can reach out, I can give you the thing, if you can go in and take a look at it, if you want to, somehow, you could probably be best at figuring out, somehow how you could limit just, SDAO sending you stuff that has to do with the board or something, rather than all the junk we get, because I mean, when there's fire department or some kind of municipal agency involved, there's people trying to sell you so much stuff every day that you can't imagine. You probably can't imagine. I mean, you have your business yourself, so.
I've got a question. I used to get stuff from Wheelers, but I haven't got anything.
You haven't been getting anything from them.
For ages, you know.
So you could, instead of using the Lookingglassfire.org account, because I keep that too, because we're supposed to keep track of emails and business emails that come to us as a forever and ever type thing, especially certain types. So I get all the stuff from them too, so we could send that to your personal email account.
Yeah,
if you want
because
to,
I've
or
talked
have
to
her-
Tristan more times than I can count.
Yeah.
Oh, I send it, and I'm going, but I don't get it. It's like this here. If I don't get it from you tonight at the meeting, I have no idea what's going on in the checking account, because I never seen it until here.
Because my only concern about it is that we have to have, that stuff has to be coming through a .org account so that we have it saved.
Right.
We have access to it, or the public has access to it. So if you have a separate email account, that's fine, because I'm getting the same financial stuff you would get. And I don't know why it's not getting to your email.
Should I call Tristan again, or?
Yeah, and it hasn't never, your email hasn't ever changed.
No,
either, so I'm not
it's
sure what's
been there
going on.
for,
Okay. Unless you got, it's identified as junk or something in the
Yeah.
email or
I've
something.
been checking junk and stuff. I used to have my own webpage and everything, but I no longer use that. I haven't used it in years, so. It's just, Gmail.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll figure out the email thing.
And maybe, so our new communications guy, IT guy, maybe he'd give us some advice on it. Or if I ever deal with DFN and I can't figure out what they're saying, I might have you
You
talk
can
to them for me.
You can usually filter through and like set parameters, because like I know you can sort emails by like, not just the sender, but also by like certain title heads, and so you can make a folder that actually like things we care about, and then you can just have that link to your email or something.
That, their thing that they have, their cPanel, whatever they do that sets all this stuff up, it is not, to me, it's not user friendly. I'm not just at that stuff, but it's hard to figure it out.
I'm with you, I struggle too.
Okay.
All right, so do we have any other directors' reports? Board member comments?
I have a quick one real quick.
Okay.
Steve, is there, and maybe I can talk with James since they're both here. Do we have a good communication program for if we ever had an October 7th event here? I mean, terrorist or anything else that happened in our community. Do we have a good communication program as well as affiliation between, because I know the backup generator and being able to provide, backup health care, but then the Grange acting as an intermediate. Do we have a good program for that, and is that out in the community? Because I just kind of ask, guys, everything happens without anybody knowing what's going on, right? So the whole thing is I just want to make sure that our community and us are informed on what is the protocol, what happens, who takes the lead, what's determined if something happens. So I'm just kind of putting that out to you guys.
We could do like a,
We could do a
we
better
could,
job.
I can
we
answer
could make
this.
an actual book, I think, of, like Lookingglass emergency preparedness. I actually was thinking about running a class for the Grange, because we do classes intermittently, so I could do something on just emergency preparedness in general. It'd be also nice to get at least one ham radio operator in the Lookingglass community. There might already be a couple.
There is.
Yeah, and so it'd be nice to link up with
And
those
we should
guys.
have that coordinated. I'm a ham operator also, but not practicing. But bottom line is, I mean, it's just getting all that stuff in one page, one consideration, just because I think we should have that together, have that all ready to go, have that distributed. And we should be, I mean, I go back to, it's not something that just should be mentioned once. I think we have to have, okay.
So, and another thing is that our,
Thanks,
so
Jeff.
being so we're not
Thank you.
a incorporated area, although our agency, so the county EOC would be the ultimate authority on a big disaster, say like what's happened down here in Texas or something.
Right.
That would be we go through them, from here, we go through them to go through FEMA or whatever. So Emily Ring is the new county emergency coordinator.
Took over Wayne.
We had a pretty good relationship with her. Her and I was on a first name basis with her for a long time, but her and Justin are, and they have an assistant down there now. And the county EOC had, after Snowmageddon, the fire departments did not have a seat on that EOC. So like, when we were talking about road problems and snow problems and getting the people up here, the county EOC had no idea what was going on. So after that, we have a seat at the table now, and actually Bob Scott, our assistant chief, he's always been one that's pushing it, so he's one of the representatives on the county EOC. So when it gets fired up at the courthouse, he's there. So that's a real benefit to us, because we have direct contact, plus we all have his number, we deal with him all the time, so. But that's, countywide, that's how that works. And hopefully, there's been a few exercises and stuff where it just, they either forget to call us or something, so that the fire department has to be much more forceful and being involved in that EOC. But just a couple of direct things that occurred was that the county and the state were coming out here during Snowmageddon in their little Toyotas and Priuses, trying to get to people, like children, child protective services and that kind of stuff. So they're coming out here on Coos Bay Wagon Road and can't get up the driveways or anything. And if there's an EOC, because they were at the EOC, and the police and sheriffs are at the EOC, and the county's there, but there's no fire departments there. So we're the ones that are out doing our windshield surveys and checking all the roads, and we know what houses we can get to and we can't get to and stuff. And none of that information was getting back down there. So these people are coming out here and they're actually going to become part of the problem because they don't have the right vehicles, they don't have anything to get in here. So, but you're right. It needs to be a good coordination. And we can also, another thing is we can as far as conflagration and large fires, we can pre-fill out the paperwork that the state wants when they come in to take over, basically, the DFP. And we can do that as a board, filled out beforehand, so basically all you're putting in is a date. So, anyway, to declare a major disaster in this area, it's actually a board activity. I mean, I would have to get hold of you being president or vice president or somebody to sign the form. And if we had that all pre-filled out, then that's.
Well, and I wonder, the other thing too is back to community organization. I mean, so we have a small core group out in we've got 7 or 8 neighbors, so we're all so when everything happened, we were on the phone. Actually, somebody down the valley actually has another individual has a ham operator's license, so I can get her on the phone, I can get her on the radio. If everything else is down, ask her what's going on, because we could get out for 3 days.
Right.
So it's just a matter of, organizing cell groups so that, and I mean, you and Justin need to know who are these people, who do we communicate with, can they cover, and I think it's just better organization. I think the better we're prepared, the better off we're gonna be able to handle anything that comes our way.
So who's got what equipment, that kind of stuff? We
Yeah.
have people.
Our number one issue with that so far is like, we tried to get out last couple summer staffings and pre-triage people's properties, so we know where the danger areas are, we know where the, that kind of stuff, how long of a stretch we'll need from a driveway. And we got met at people's gates with guns. There's putting up address markers, we don't just go out and put them up anymore because we had people tell us, no, I don't want anybody to know that we're out here. So we don't do certain things unless we're specifically requested. And there are some people that they want nothing to do with it. We now have oxygen tanks over at the Grange for those, Snowmageddon kind of
Right.
incidents,
Right.
or
Right.
power losses, that kind of stuff. So they don't have to go all the way into town to try and get their O2 tanks filled.
Yeah.
They can go to the Grange. We're gonna do a training meeting at the Grange, so they can focus on filling that stuff, because are you guys still going in the route of an emergency
Yeah, so
food shelter?
I think so. We're gonna go with that route.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably end up rehabbing the bathroom, so we'll have a couple of showers. So also the firefighters can use it too after they come off, so they don't have to go home and go and tell them whatever. But yeah, and also redoing it for ADA certifications. We were talking about, seeing how far I can push it. I think Neil was telling me yesterday that he's supposed to have a meeting here pretty soon to get more information about maybe somebody coming out and surveying to find out exactly how far we can get certified. Because, different tiers have different rules and things like that.
I think this is all good, but good communication, and Justin, you can't change people that are gonna be isolated. If they wanna be on an island, so be it, defend yourself, but I think that there are community groups that, and propagating that to where you don't have to contact 50 different people in our community, you can contact 3 or 4 and then be able to reach them and communicate. Snowmageddon was one, atypical issue because a lot of people were isolated, nobody knew whether they were being taken care of, and I go back to just being able to, get that communication out, and we're a small community, but I think if we do a better job, we'll be more prepared, so.
There used to be a young lady down here at the end, she passed away, but they used to have like a neighborhood watch once a month or once every 2 weeks or something like that.
And so Facebook, there is a neighborhood watch group that's out
There
there.
is.
Nextdoor.com, we can actually send it out. It depends on if they're a part of Nextdoor.com, if they have power, all that kind of stuff. We have reverse 911s that we can do. We can go out physically to each property. There's actually on that manila envelope, there's statistics that's right there in the front, right in front of Paul.
Okay.
There's some statistics there that we have, 1,600 buildings. in
Yeah, as
Lookingglass.
far as the breakdown of the demographics, who's senior, who's disabled, who's this. That's all available to us.
It's one of those that I want to get in touch with those groups. That's why we're doing the Facebook, we're doing the Nextdoor.com, we're trying to do the, word by mouth, all that kind of stuff. I'll teach CPR, first aid,
Yeah.
stop the bleed to anybody that wants to take a class. Chief has been gracious enough that I already get paid through the Safer Grant to do this, so
Right.
I don't charge for my instructor times.
Which we need that, that's something through the Grange, it's back to getting our community prepared. I hate to say this, but everybody else, if they're not gonna be prepared, that's one thing, but I want our community, I want people that we know, that we're close to be able to have, hubs and centers to where, if something happens, we're at least somewhat prepared. We at least have, it's like my go-to. Because again, I'll talk to Steve first. He's the first one. But, it's a matter of, Grange and just back to that community issue. I think it could become really relevant in the next few years. So.
I will say with me going out to like 10 Mile, Camas, Glide, so, you know, all those places, and even up into North Doug. I will say that we are on the right path
Yeah.
of where
Yeah.
we're going, and we get comments all the time about how close-knit Lookingglass community is,
Yeah,
that I'm proud about,
Yeah.
but I still feel like it could use some work. We could get a little closer.
A lot of stuff happens by chance, and that, going back to that summer again where the EOC, one or two of them are retired now, that were the road people, like Simhauser up there on Coos Bay Wagon. So, and somebody over there on Florida the same way. So the first morning we come out, somebody's out here in a loader cleaning our parking lot off. And I go, who is it? Well, hell, we had 3 guys from the road department lived out here, so they came out here and took care of all the Lookingglass's roads before anywhere else. So it was awesome, yeah. Because they gotta get to work,
Yeah,
so.
Simhauser retired, and so
Yeah.
did Tim Randall.
Yeah,
He's the one who lives out on Florida Valley.
so that was just a fluke that we had 3 of the county road guys living out here. And that was a heck of a tremendous business.
Years and years and years ago, a good friend of mine ran the shop for the county. And years ago, you can't do it anymore, but you could call the county and say, hey, can you come out and clean my driveway off? Sure, but they can't do that anymore, but they used to, 35, 40 years ago, there was nothing for a county guy to come out and clean off your driveway or clean off your road or whatever, but they can't do that anymore.
I would love it. So my goal is next year, before anybody lights a fire, or after fire season, before anybody lights a fire, they call us and they say, hey, can you guys bring a truck out and sit while I burn this? That's my goal. That way, if anything does start, even if you're like, I'm not really worried about it, but I'd rather be safe than
why
sorry.
not? Yeah,
Like, I will go out there in an apparatus myself and sit there
yeah, just hang out and make sure.
if need be. If I can get a screw out there, all the better. But
Yep. Anyway, thank you guys for that.
You're welcome.
I think it's a good
So I
idea.
think we got a meeting next month.
Yeah, so, well, we have to give our public an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Our public is not speaking. So our next board meeting will be August 14th, 2024. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I think it's August 20.
All in favor?
2025.
2025?
Oh, yeah, 2025.
I'm sorry.
No, you're,
I make a motion.
yeah, we're not meeting in 2024. It'll be pretty time sheet. All right,
All right.
meeting adjourned.
Great.
Yes, good.